This is Dr. Andrew Jones. If your dog is itching and scratching, he or she may have lice. This is what it is and how you can treat it at home. So let's just assume that your dog is something like Pippi, where she's, say, recently gone to a dog kennel and comes home really itchy. Which, maybe your dog has a history of allergies, perhaps not. It makes you kind of think that potentially your dog has picked something up at the kennel. Which is, I think, actually what's happening with Pippi. So the first big thing, I always suggest, which is sort of the common sense thing, but just thoroughly examine your dog. Just sort of sit back and watch and see where she's been itching at. Pippi in particular has been sort of chewing at her back leg. Oh, as you can see, she is really, you scratch your side of her belly or groin. You really want to itch. And she's not an itchy dog. She's not a dog that has allergies, which sort of makes you wonder, like, what has happened or what has she picked up? So, and just, having a look at your dog, where are they itching at or not itching at? Especially, I encourage you to have a good look into their groin. Look at their skin. Is it really itchy or not? Hers seems okay. It doesn't seem super red. She hasn't lost a lot of hair. It makes you kind of wonder, so what possibly could she have? Well, the next step, especially if you're going into a vet clinic, and which is what it looks like what Pippi's owners did, because they sort of helped me out by showing me something that they had in a jar, is they, thoroughly examine her. They got really close, spreading her fur apart, looking right down at her skin. With me, I'm sort of need glasses now to sort of look closer at that. But one of the things I suggest that could really help you in terms of guiding it, you trying to figure out, why is my dog itching or not? Could there be a parasite? Could there be fleas? Could they have lice? Have a little fine-tooth comb. What I've got here, I've actually sacrificed the end of a fine-tooth comb. You can actually get a specific one called a flea comb, which is great to have on hand. And often that's what I suggest, just once a week, just running a flea comb through your dog or your cat, and just seeing, do they have fleas? Because part of the whole thing with keeping parasites under control is not letting them go from 1 to 100 to 1,000. We can often naturally control fleas, for instance. If there's 1 or 2 fleas, no big deal. We can take care of that. When there's 1,000, that's when you need to be looking to go into some of those big insecticides. In terms of, using a flea comb or any type of fine-tooth comb, I always suggest starting around the ears, the base of the neck. And what you're doing is we're just, getting that comb going right to the base of your dog's fur, right to their skin, and just being really thorough. Because what we're trying to do is run through all those bits of hair, getting right at the skin. What I find out with fleas and lice is that they do a really good job of, sticking right at the base of the skin. And the other thing we're looking at, if we're looking for lice, we actually may be looking for nits or the flea eggs. So what I want to show you guys, which unfortunately is really difficult to see. So first of all, on the end of my finger, I don't think the camera can focus that well. So right there on the end of my finger is a louse egg. That's called a nit. Because it's white, it's still firmly attached to the hair. And generally that's sort of the diagnostic thing that you're going to find, is you're going to find these nits. So those are the louse eggs on your dog, and that's going to let you know that your dog has lice. Occasionally you can actually find a live louse, and Karen, Pippi's owner, was actually able to find one. The 3 big possibilities: your dog goes somewhere, they come back itchy. For the area I live in Nelson, or this area in particular, is really prone to lice and dog lice. So that would be the most common cause. For most of you watching the video, more than likely it will be fleas. Once again, you're going to just use this fine-tooth comb like this. You will thoroughly look. In many cases, you're going to see the black flea. A dog like Pippi, it's going to be pretty obvious. The other big thing is you're going to see the flea poop, which is the black debris. And often you just put it on a white piece of paper, as it come out all black. That lets you know your dog has fleas. Lastly, there's a type of mange called sarcoptic mange. And that's very, very intensely itchy, can be transmitted, can come from your dog going into a kennel in contact with another dog who has mange. The indicator for mange is it's a pretty hard one to diagnose in terms of see. You're not going to visually see. Those mange mites are actually burrowing into your dog's skin. But the big sign is that this intense itch. And there's one indicator will actually fold over the flap of your dog's ear tip. And for whatever reason, it causes a huge itch reaction. And I've seen that in vet practice a few times. So that'd be there's a third potential cause. Your dog going away, comes back itchy. The third potential possibility. Now let's get Pippi upstairs. I can then get her in the bath. We can start the shampoo for Lice. And as she's then drying off, I'm gonna treat her topically as well. So Lice have a 21-day life cycle, meaning they go from A, which are those nits, to larvae, to pupae, to adult. And so what you're seeing is that within that 21-day period, we can go from one louse to, meaning that louse can lay hundreds of eggs, to then they hatch. So you can see in no period of time, you can have this huge infestation. A couple other big points. Lice are all species specific. So for instance, if Pippi has lice, I'm not gonna get lice. It's just dogs. Your dog can't spread it to your cat or your kids, other people, your horses. But cats get lice. I've never seen lice in a cat, but that is a possibility. And obviously other animals, as can we. I mean, we can have human lice. I mean, I unfortunately did get lice one time for my daughter. As you know, it's not uncommon in us as well. But because not only are they species specific, the other big point is the entire life cycle of the lice is on your pet, they're on your dog. So yes, you can have some of the eggs can fall off on your dog's bedding, and that can be a source of reinfestation, but it's not near the same way as fleas. So generally, as long as you treat all the dogs in your house, for instance, you're gonna get rid of the lice, all the animals that can have that lice. So the first thing is I'm gonna give Pippi a quick little bath. I don't hope she's still gonna like me after this. Come on, Pipster. The biggest thing with the shampoo is you need to leave it on for a full 10 minutes. So it's gonna have enough time to actually kill whatever thing you're trying to kill. So it's gonna kill those adult lice. Then we just give her a good towel dry off with one of our dog towels. Not actually our dog towels, so I'm saying to my wife. Okay, Pippi. Let's get you all dried. Good girl. Yes. Oh. Grubby thing. You probably wouldn't be so cool too about having her in the bath, but God, I don't have a dog bath. I wish I did. I've never taken you to Pippi. Good girl. Yes, you're a great dog. Pippi's pretty tolerant, which is awesome. I mean, I'm moving around in the bathtub. She's just happy to have some attention. Must feel good. We're getting you all cleaned and hopefully getting rid of those little critters that are making you itch. Good little Pipsty. So I spent a long time rinsing her. You really want to be really thorough. Get all that shampoo off after. Okay. The other thing I would do, and which you can do just as easily, is, go ahead and just run that flea comb through now. Again, just try to get as many nits, see if there's any live lice in there out of her. Because then you're just manually getting rid of those eggs. Because that's what we're trying to essentially eliminate. We're going to kill the adults so they can't lay any more eggs. Get rid of as many eggs as possible. Because that's what's going to hatch and turn into an adult louse. Alright, Pippi. If you were looking at completely avoiding any type of insecticide as far as, you know, how can I naturally treat my dog, you could look first for some type of natural flea shampoo. Will that work? I'm not sure. I suspect, you know, some of the essential oil-based shampoos likely would, you know, something that included cedarwood oil. Likely that would, like, you know, damage the lice. It's just I had clients use it in my practice. It didn't help, and I didn't see it work for them. Maybe that we have some type of resistant louse species here. The next thing is just physically, you know, using that comb, taking away as many lice as possible. So you're just combing your dog, like Pippi, you know, running that fine-tooth comb. You can even do it right after the bath. Oh, Pippi, that must even make you feel a bit better. There, you just definitely smell a bit better than how you did. I mean, and that's what I did with my daughter. We're looking for them, nits, combing well. We find them, peel them off the comb and wrap them up and, you know, flush them down the toilet. Bye-bye, nits. This is the diatomaceous earth here. Yes, Pippi wants to eat some, which you also could. So if we're going to use it for lice, good girl Pippi. This is edible, so you can also eat it. But what I was suggesting is just, and I've got it, I would just loosely, go girl Pippi, sprinkle it on your dog. Pippi here. Just fine powder. And then what you could do is take a comb. Come here, Pippi. Take a comb and just, now you just can use that comb to spread it through your dog's fur. So there's three ways. We're gonna do a shampoo, a comb to get rid of as many of the eggs as possible, and then using something like the diatomaceous earth, spread it through your dog. Because we are in Nelson and I've only seen the topical insecticide really work, this is one of the topical ones. This is the Advantage, which is Pippi's size for 25 kilos and under. No, it's probably not in the US, it's probably based on pounds, obviously, so kind of 50 pounds and under. So Advantage works by, you're just gonna spread your dog's coat, put some drops, I put 4 or 5, and I try to evenly spread it along the back of your dog's back. And what it's doing is it's binding to the fatty layer in your dog's skin that can form this barrier. So then when those little critters, as they migrate along your dog's skin, they're gonna bite not only the skin and your dog's blood, they're gonna suck on some Advantage. There you go. So generally when I would be treating dogs for lice, I'm giving 3 doses at 2 weeks apart. And that goes over, so that's going over a 4-week period. That covers the full 21-day life cycle of the lice. And that's gonna give you a good, as you're doing every 2 weeks, that's gonna at least, good girl Pippi, at least give you 6 to 8 weeks of good, you know, coverage that's going to kill any of the lice that are present and essentially completely stop that lice life cycle. And lastly, don't forget about her bedding. It's still a great idea to throw those anywhere that your dog has been in contact with, primarily her bed, stuff that you just shampooed her with, such as that towel down there. Throw it in the wash, give it a good wash, get rid of any excess eggs that potentially have fallen off your dog onto the bedding. Goodbye to the lice.